Welcome to Behind the Smile with Dr. Shaggy. I'm a cosmetic dentist and the founder of Veneer Lounge and Modern Bite Dentistry. In this show, we go beyond the smile, highlighting all the incredible journeys of the amazing people around me. Together, we'll uncover their stories of success and inspiration, hoping to empower others to reach their full potential. Let's dive in and discover what's behind the smile. Welcome to Behind the Smile with Dr. Shaggy, and I am so excited to have the beautiful Nicole Culver here with me today. She is the owner and founder of Allure and Alchemy. Welcome, Miss Nicole.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here chatting with you today.
Oh, I'm excited to have you here. Just reading your story, I know is going to inspire so many people because it really inspired me. So I can't wait to see how many people you touch after this story today. So thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for the opportunity. I can't wait to chat.
Yes. So there have been so many accomplishments that you have accomplished throughout your whole lifetime. But let's take it back. Let's take it back to childhood. Who was the person that you looked up to and why?
So growing up, my aunt, she's a court reporter and she works in LA, and she has the briefcase. She has the red nails. She gets on a train and goes into work every day and sits in these massive cases, like O.J. Simpson level cases. Yeah.
Wow.
And she's, typing away, and I'm seeing her on TV and I'm just so inspired. Like, I want to do something big like that one day. I want a sports car. I want red nails. I want to work hard. And so that was a big inspiration for me growing up. I just always admired her.
Was it her being on TV or was it the sports car and the nails?
I think it was more like the sports car and the nails. And so she would come to our house after work and she'd be dressed in her pantsuit. She'd walk in and I just remember being like, wow, how cool. Like, I want to be her one day.
That's amazing. Because I feel like most people are like, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a doctor. And you're like, no, I want to be my aunt.
Yeah.
So what aspect of that was appealing to you?
I think that people depended on her.
Okay.
Like, she had to get on that train every day and they needed her in order to do the courtroom proceedings. And so it was the amount of people that counted on her, and then just the amount of things that she had to do every day. Like, she had to be productive. She had to be, in meetings, and she had to be on that train. And I just thought, wow, it's so important. And I wanted a career like that where people needed me, they wanted me, and I'd be really just busy and productive.
Well, I can attest that you are busy and productive even now. So That's amazing. So let's talk about your early childhood accomplishments.
Yeah.
Taking college level courses at age 16.
Yes.
And let's talk about that. What made you want to do that and how it kind of propelled you for the future?
So when I was 16, my mom was ill and she was trying to set me up for my future as best as possible. She kept saying things like, I may not be here, but I want to get you started. And so in California, before you turn 18, you can attend college for free. You just buy your books, but tuition is free.
Wow.
And you just have to get the principal of your high school to sign off on it. And you also have to show you're in good standing at your current high school. And then you have to get the dean to approve you to attend. So I remember being 15 and a half, and my mom takes me in. We meet the dean of admissions, and he tells my mom, this isn't high school. There are adults here. They're going to use foul language. There's going to be inappropriate scenarios left and right. Can she handle it? My mom's like, yes, she can handle it. She's going to do this. So my very first class was Spanish 100. And I am 16 years old, fresh 16. It's August, the end of August. I had just turned 16. And I walk in and I immediately was started to panic. It was I felt underwater. And the professor had to announce that there was a minor in the class because it's part of the procedure. Just, hey, we have a minor. And he made me stand up and introduce myself.
No. Oh my gosh.
Mr. Herrera. Thank you, Mr. Herrera. And so that was my first day. And I just had to learn how to be tough and work hard. I was getting A's. And then eventually students started being nice to me, but I was sort of just the toy. I was the little doll in the corner, that's our minor. Yeah. So that was my first class. But when I graduated high school, I had, I think, between 20 and 25 credits in college. I had taken everything from art to biology to oceanography and Spanish, 2 Spanishes. So yeah, it really was helpful because when I graduated, I had kind of already understood like how college works,
Right.
how to balance your time, and then also just like the freedom you have on a college campus versus like a high school.
How did that translate as far as, I mean, were you still friends with people from high school?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
So I went at night, and then I also remember like a Friday evening class, like midday. So I think it was just like right after. But yeah, people thought it was cool. I had a couple other friends who also did that.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're getting ready for our future. Like high school's important, but this is the next chapter. So it kind of gave me a perspective greater than high school, which is nice because I know people sometimes got caught up in like the drama or homecoming, things like that. And I was more future focused because I was kind of already stepping into that.
Now, do you feel like that took you away from certain things or set you up for certain things?
I feel like in that stage of life, because my mom was rapidly declining and I had to make advanced preparations, I feel like it was the right thing and I wanted that. I don't feel like it detracted. It helped me kind of see like, this is the next step. This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're going to be okay on your own.
Oh, I love hearing that.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry to hear about you losing your mother at such a young age.
Yeah.
But I love that she set you up for success and
Did.
gave you that confidence.
She did.
Were you always confident growing up?
No. And I think my mom would always tell me, like, it doesn't matter if you feel confident, you just have to do the thing. And my mom was one of those people, she was just guns blazing. Anything that she wanted, she accomplished. Even with cancer, she was like, I'm going to go to chemo. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And her doctors were like, you're not quite well enough to do chemo this week. Your white blood cells are too low. And she's like, no, I'm going to do it. Like, we need to do this as part of the plan. And so I think like confidence was something that I never innately had, but it was like, it doesn't matter how you feel, you get it done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's a big thing. Even I know we both follow the Hormozis.
Yes.
And that's their big thing. Like, F how you feel.
Yeah.
Stick to the plan.
Yes, absolutely. Like if I just behaved off of my feelings, I would probably never leave my bed because
Right.
I was feeling imposter syndrome coming out here today.
Oh, this is so great to hear that you put yourself into an uncomfortable situation. You excelled in it, not just successfully, but extremely successfully.
Oh, thank you.
And went off to college. Tell me about college. Where'd you go to school?
Yeah, so I went to Cypress College to get my AA. And then during that, I was applying to schools because I really needed a scholarship. I mean, times were tough. And so my dream school was Chapman University, which is in Orange County. They had an amazing economics program. And I had got to sit in on one of their lectures when I was at Cypress College. And I was like, this is where I'm going. But tuition was $60,000 a year. And that was just like an unachievable number for me at the time. So that was my dream. And I was planning on backups. But when I got my AA and I applied, Chapman actually gave me an amazing scholarship.
Wow.
So I got to go there. And, I worked a couple jobs, 2, sometimes 3, all through college, which was tough, really tough. Especially like group projects, because in a private school environment, those kids didn't have jobs. Their job was to go to school. Their parents paid for things. So they would be like, hey, we're going to meet up on Saturday. And I'm like, I'm working a 15-hour day at a bar and restaurant on Saturday. I can't join. So there was some, it was a challenge, but it was an incredible experience to be in rooms that I wouldn't normally be able to be in, to learn from professors who had studied all over the world and had these massive careers. So I graduated from Chapman in 2013. Wow, long time ago. Yeah. And
It's been some time now.
and I remember asking my dean, I was always in the dean's office at Chapman, like just to make sure, like, are my payments made? Any issues, like, please look at my transcripts, because I had this reoccurring anxiety that I wasn't going to graduate and I needed to. So I remember asking my dean, like, when is my diploma live? He was like, well, after finals, we enter it all in and then you'll get like a notice in the portal. Graduation night, I'm refreshing. And then it's like shows that it's active. I applied to 100 jobs in less than 24 hours, like shotgun my resume. This is on a Friday. And on Monday, my phone is just blowing up. All these jobs are calling me back, phone screens. And I think I did like 13 or 14 interviews in that week, like in person.
Wow.
And I started my full-time job less than 10 days later. So Chapman prepared me for the real world and also helped me get a job like immediately.
Wow. I was going to say it's very interesting because you had your eye on Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
And then
when it was time to take that next step as far as finding a job, you kind of did a blanket application. Did you find your job from there?
I did.
Okay.
Definitely not a dream job. But at that time, I was like, okay, I have some loans and like, I'm done. I've done the thing. Like, I've got to start the next thing. So it was really like, whoever is going to hire me, I just want to get started. And then once I have income and health insurance, I hadn't had health insurance in almost 6 years. Once I have these things and have some stability, then I can go after what I actually want to do, was my plan.
Yes.
So I was, trying to use my finance and economics degree, and I kept getting offers for insurance. And I did a half-day preview at an insurance company. Shout out to Penn Mutual. And I hated it. I was like, I don't want to sit at a job all day where I have to sit at a chair and be on the phone. I had just come from working in restaurants and fast pace and management. So the very first company that had something other than that was an aerospace manufacturing company.
Yes. Wow.
I have zero manufacturing background. I did no internships because I worked almost full time during college. So I had nothing other than like restaurant and some management at the restaurant experience. And they call me in and they're like, we're looking for someone who can manage this department. They do about $1 million in production a day. It's the last step in the process. So if your department messes anything up, the customer is going to get a delayed order. And there's like a 777 in a hangar plane that needs these parts. Boeing is our number one customer.
Wow.
And these parts are always back ordered. So they're fasteners. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And they're like, and you're going to be managing 40 adult men that don't speak any English. How's your Spanish? And I'm like, muy bueno. Like, I got this.
Spanish 101. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. I took years of Spanish. Yeah, I got this. And I'm just like literally shaking. And then like they brought me in for a second interview and then they made me an offer. Low ball offer. I find out later that like my peers are making like 2x. But they took a chance. I mean, I'm 23 years old. So I'm managing 40 adult men in a department that's dilapidated, dirty, like machines that are like 3,000 to 5,000 pounds. And I have not a lick of engineering background. And these machines are just constantly breaking. And the engineers are like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not an engineer. So it was definitely like being a fish out of water, but I loved it because I was like on my feet all day and I got to learn and I got to get my hands dirty. And 2 weeks into my job, I met my future husband.
Yes, I love that. Sweet Ryan. We're definitely going to talk about Sweet Ryan because he's awesome.
He's the best.
So 23 years old, you're working at a manufacturing company. Things are going wrong left and right.
Mm-hmm.
You're managing grown men.
Yes.
And I remember, you mentioned that your boss even kind of verbally abused you, belittled you. And instead of running home and crying, you taught yourself. What was the program that you took?
Yes.
Was it on your own time?
Yes.
To figure out? Tell us about that and what that did for the business.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I kept getting yelled at because my machines would break and things would go wrong, even called the B word. And so I thought, okay, like I hate that. I don't want this to happen anymore. So I met with one of the engineers and I said, what would I need to know to like better root cause or even be proactive or preventative about all these issues we're seeing? Because my employees had no idea and it was frustrating for them. And he said, well, you could apply lean manufacturing and Six Sigma principles and like you could 5S your area so that there's better flow. And I'm just like, none of these words make sense to me. So I was like, Brett, can you just tell me where I can start learning this? And so he was like, yeah, you can get a course that teaches you lean manufacturing. He's like, but how the heck did you get this job without any of this? I'm like, too late. We're here now.
Yeah.
So I enrolled in a course. It was like a e-learning course. And then I also got a couple books. And then I started watching YouTube videos. And so I would work like a 12, 13-hour day. And then I'd come home and I would study these principles and then say, okay, how can I apply them? And I made like a 90-day plan for my department. And every day I had certain things I was trying to get done. And I was trying to get the employees involved. So like I asked my boss, can I have a couple hours with the employees so we can do this like whole department cleaning exercise? And he said, no. He said, every hour needs to be productive. Like we have hours of labor and they have to have hours of output. Okay, no problem. So I was coming in, staying late and just trying to do this all on my own. And then finally, my boss was like, you know what? You've been doing a lot of work in your department. We have a couple slow weeks. Like you can take a couple strategic hours and do these initiatives. I did one and I brought everyone in my department on a floor walk. And my boss said, oh my gosh, I've never seen this department look this way. You can have 10 more hours.
Wow.
And I just started earning that credibility and trust and showing that I care. One day it was a Friday. It was 9 p.m. on a Friday and I'm dye pointing. That's the you're painting the tips of these parts, different colors to signify what airplane part they go into in the manufacturing assembly line for Boeing. Mm-hmm. And I'm painting and he comes into my department, my boss, and he's like, why are you here? It's 9 p.m. on a Friday. I said, oh, this order's late.
Wow.
So you're here doing it? I said, yeah, I'm out of overtime for the day. I had to send my employees home. My second shift's not here yet. And he stood next to me and he helped me dye point.
Wow.
And then he told me, I have a daughter who's your age and I would never let her work here. What are you doing here? Go find a better job.
Okay. Is this Brent? Or who is this someone
Brett
else?
was in engineering.
Okay.
This guy's name was Mike. I'm not going to say his last name, but Mike.
That is so, wow. For him to see your dedication and admire that and give you, I mean, that's very credible and very respectful.
He
For
was.
him to just be like, hey,
and
look.
he never called me a name after that. And he never tore into me. You know, I definitely had missteps, but we had a respect. I had earned it. And I realized good or bad, you have to earn people's respect.
Yes.
You shouldn't have to, but you do.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of one of the things I focused on in any role I've had is earn the respect, earn the trust, and then ask for the things that you want or need.
I love that mentality because that's the way it should be. It's funny because I'm like, I was like, I love everyone. My brother's so protective. He's like, you will earn my trust. You will earn my respect and all those things. But I love it, especially in a business environment.
Mm-hmm.
Earn it.
Yep.
And that great way to think about it because, man, I'm just thinking about the adversities you've already kind of gone through in your life. Sweet Ryan gets transferred to Boston.
Yes.
So you follow.
Yes.
I want to skip to the part where you're like, this is definitely not for me.
Yes.
I'm ready for a change. I'm going for Amazon.
Yeah.
And you had your eye on something else.
I did.
Tell us this story because I just love the dedication.
Yeah, absolutely. So I transferred to Boston with the promotion, got to go with Ryan. Everything is great. Get there. It's a union environment. I'm not allowed to do anything. My hands are tied. I'm sitting at a desk. And it was miserable. Employees are miserable. Grievances. I'm in HR every day, grieving the union and back and forth. And I'm like, this is not what I want to do. It's not productive. So I had a friend who had told me, hey, I'm joining Amazon. That's all I knew. Mm-hmm. And so one day at work, I rage quit. Not proud of it. I blacked out and I let my emotions get the best of me and I quit. I have student loans. I have 2 cats. I had just moved to Boston. I own nothing. And I'm not expecting Ryan to take care of me. We've been together 9 months at this point. Mm-hmm. So I get on my laptop and I go, okay, Nicole, we've been through hard shit before. Mm-hmm. Can I say shit?
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
We've been through hard shit before. Let's get to work. So I went on LinkedIn and I made a list of anyone I could find that worked for Amazon that had director in their title. I'm like, surely a director can get me to the right person.
Yeah. And
I started in-mailing them. I had to pay for in-mail. I was like, okay, I'll have to budget for this, $20. Got to maximize it. So I started in-mailing everybody. And it's Q4. So that's Amazon's busiest time. And one man, his name's Tim Hall, love him to death. He is so high up in the company, 8 years. He reaches back out to me and says, hey, I'm working till 10 p.m. tonight. Can you get on a call at 10:30 p.m.? I'll give you 10 minutes of my time. I said, absolutely.
Wow.
So he does. He looks at my resume. We talk about it. He had worked in a foundry, which is similar to manufacturing. Mm-hmm. He said, I'm going to expedite your resume. Be ready. They're going to call you. Mm-hmm. And I was on a plane less than 10 days later, being flown out to interview for 6 grueling hours. And then I think 14 days later, I was starting that job. I had my offer and they're like, this is the best part. I moved from California to Boston to be with my husband. And I get a job that's supposed to be in Chicago. And then they say, surprise, your building is 3 months delayed. You're going back to California for 3 months to live in a hotel and train. So I'm like, hey, Ryan, I know we just got here. We just got our stride. I just learned to drive in the snow. I'm moving back to California for 3 months. And then eventually we'll be in Chicago. And he was like, okay, I'll meet you in Chicago. I'll go yeah. He's like, I'll get a new job or I'll go to grad school. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So we do.
How amazing that you have such a supportive spouse. continuously.
Yes.
He's been very consistent, it sounds like, because I just know this Ryan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, he's amazing.
He is.
But I love that he's been consistently that
day one.
support for you. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So, Amazon, you're taking off, and I'm going to share just financial success because I think it
should be transparent.
awesome.
Yeah.
You're in your 20s making over $500,000.
Yeah. My best year. Now, one thing to note is a lot of that is stock. So I got extremely lucky because salary is great. It's like $200,000, whatever, but they give you stock that vests. When I started the company, the stock was under $200. When I left the company, stock was over $3,000.
Okay.
So the vests would happen and you get the stock amount, not the dollar amount. So did they intend to pay me that much initially? No, but you stick around and amazing things happen.
Wow. Yeah. That is very fascinating.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't imagine. So at this point, you're living your best life. You've accomplished all the things that you wanted to accomplish, beat the odds for all these things. Making a killing.
Yeah.
You're with the love of your life,
I
living
am.
your best life. And then what hit you that you were like, no more of this?
Yeah. And I struggled with this, feeling like I was ungrateful or feeling like so many people would just kill to be in the position I was in. But I hit a point where I wasn't feeling fulfilled anymore. And a lot of people are like, you don't need to feel fulfilled. And I'm like, well, I watched my mom die at 43 years old. Yeah. Like, time to me is different than most people. Like, you're going to die one day. And when you watch someone die sooner, I think that you realize like every minute is precious. So why not feel fulfilled? And so I struggled with this like pull of like, I grew up without very much money and now I have it. And, I always wanted a career. Now I have it. Like, let's just ignore those feelings. And I did for about a year. And my husband would always say like, you have money in the bank. You have stability now. You're not that scared 23-year-old anymore. Like, go after what you dream about. And I just really loved, this is so silly, but on my days off, I wanted to go to cocktail bars. I had no friends because I worked too much. I wasn't going to people's weddings or parties or birthdays. So like your friends kind of dissipate when you're not showing up for them. I get that. But I liked to be in environments where everyone around me was in friend groups and having fun.
Yeah.
And I also really liked the logistics of the bar. So I would sit at the bar. Parliament was my favorite. It's in Dallas.
Yeah.
And I would watch the logistics of how everything comes together, from how they prep to how they have everything laid out to be ergonomically the most like expeditious, and how they communicate non-verbally. Like the bar back never misses. There's never anything empty. So anyways, I remember sitting there with my husband and saying, this is what I want to do. He's like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to run and open a bar where people come and they feel like it's a second home. They have these great like community experiences, and we have this amazing logistics. Like, we're the best at logistics. He's like, okay, let's do it.
Wow.
Like, let's do
Ryan.
it. And so over the next year and a half, we did attempt to do it. We met with builders, we met with lenders, we met with the TABC, we met with all these people. And it turns out you can have a lot of money, but if you don't have like the background in hospitality and you're not like a franchise, it's very, very hard to get a lease. Very, very hard to get what you need. And so we just kept hitting blocker after blocker. And I kept thinking, okay, I'll just stay at Amazon forever, give up. And then I was like, well, why do I need a brick and mortar? Like, can we do this mobily? Like, that would make the logistics even more impactful. And that's kind of what led me to Allure and Alchemy and building out our first trailer.
Tell me about this first trailer.
Yeah. So it's peak. I'm at work and I'm like on my downtime perusing Craigslist, and I find this vintage canned ham 1958 camper. It's the perfect model to turn into a bar. And it's in Tucson, Arizona. We're in Dallas, Texas. And I sent it to my husband and he goes, well, I could probably drive straight through 2 days straight and be back in time to be at work on Monday. And I'm like, no. He's like, no, if you want this one, I'll go get it. Because I had to work over the weekend. So he gets in our friend's truck, because we don't have a truck yet, and goes and picks up this camper and tows it back. Like, literally slept a couple hours.
Wow.
And then all of January, we tore it apart. We retrofitted it. It was so much fun.
Oh, do you have photos of this?
I do, yes.
Okay, good.
'Cause she used to be banana yellow on the inside, and she used to have really shaggy carpet curtains.
No
Shaggy,
way.
Like, they're like really like, I don't even, we still have them. Yeah. And we obviously got rid of those aspects. But it was fun to like paint the banana color white and rip up the
Wow.
floorboards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How cool. I
Yeah.
love those like core memories.
Yes.
know?
Like in the moment, you're like, oh, this sucks. And then later you're like, that's my favorite memory.
Oh, because look at y'all now.
Yeah.
Because have y'all tell us now about Allure and Alchemy and
Yeah.
how big it's gotten and
Yeah.
learning about starting a business and running it.
Yes. It is so different when you are HR and legal and finance and accounting
And marketing.
And marketing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we've been in business 6 years. We've done a little over 2 million in sales.
Congrats.
2023 was like our biggest year. We did a little over $500,000 and it broke me like physically and mentally.
Wow.
So we took a little pause and had to kind of figure out how we wanted to carve out our niche, because when we first started, we were one of 2 mobile bar catering companies in DFW, and it blew up. And especially with COVID, people had time on their hands to start these businesses. So in 2023, there were 94 registered LLCs to mobile beverage catering in DFW.
Oh, wow.
We were the most saturated market. I'm in a mobile bar community, and like Dallas is a case study. So it was a race to the bottom. My phone was blowing up with, what is your cheapest price? No, someone else is cheaper, click.
Wow.
And that was sort of, and I'm like, well, we're not cheap because we're very different. And so I had to really slow down and do less to do more, in the sense that we had to really carve out, we're luxury, we're high end. We do more customized, bespoke. We had to find the right planners to work with. And that led us to clients like Lamborghini and Ferrari and Alice and Olivia and some of the big ones, where now we don't do a lot. In fact, people call me all the time, and if they even ask about pricing, I'm like, hey, we're probably not for you if at this point you're worried about like the dollar per person.
Right.
Here's someone else to go with. And now we really only focus on those like luxury high-end clients, and we do an amazing job, and they call us constantly. I think we did like 12 or 13 events for Lamborghini last year, about the same for Ferrari. So
that's amazing, because you're setting yourself apart.
Yes.
And I mean, you get what you pay for. We always say that,
Yes.
even in my industry too, right?
Yes.
But I had no idea what it took behind the scenes to get your final product out and in, and ready to go for the next day.
Yeah.
So once you broke it down about the hours that it takes just to set up and clean the coolers and getting all the different details together for the different drinks and really making it a bespoke experience.
Yeah.
And then tearing it all down for round 2 the next day. Like, it's just crazy.
On any given weekend, we've got a van and a truck and another van, and they come back completely full. It'll take you 2 to 3 hours per vehicle to unload it all. And then you got thousands of pieces of glassware and bar tools. And I mean, an average event is 300 pounds of ice. Somebody has to load all of that.
Okay, let's see these muscles, Nicole.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like,
close up. You got to get a real good close up.
Oh my gosh, those are good muscles, girlfriend.
We hired someone, and he lost 20 pounds in one summer working for us.
Stop.
He was our assistant. He's
okay. So weight loss program.
Yes,
the
I'll
Nicole
put you to work.
Culver.
Put you to work. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. But okay, so let's talk numbers, because I love that when you shared with me about, we hit these max, but we realized our happy medium, like happy spot was here.
Yeah.
And what has that done for you? What have you been able to do now?
Yeah. So the biggest thing is knowing like what your sweet spot is, because anything past that, you're usually giving up profit margin. And so for us, a Sprinter van is $65,000. And to have multiple on the road, you have to justify that cost. And so we were renting Sprinter vans every weekend. And when I looked at my P&L, I'm like, this is severely hurting our profit margins, to the point where I'm taking events and they're at the detriment of the income we're bringing in.
Wow.
Because I have to do all these silly things to make it happen. So our sweet spot right now in current state, without a full-time manager, because I had one for about 2 years and then he went back to school, and I thought, okay, let's try without it, is around $350,000 to around $400,000 max. And that allows us to, not have to have multiple kitchens and multiple storage, and allows us to only have 2 company vehicles versus 3 or 4 or 5. And also, like, I didn't want to have 15,000 pieces of glassware. And we got to that. And we're now down to 9,000, which is a ton of glassware, a ton of racks. Each rack's like 30 pounds.
Goodness.
So we're at a footprint that I'm happy with. And it's also not all like it's not taking up all of my free time. I have time to do other things that I find really valuable, but still have the business running.
Yes. I mean, just your trips. I'm just thinking about you went to South Africa.
I did.
I really missed you while you were in South Africa. I was like,
Aw.
cannot wait to see these photos and videos.
Yeah.
Because you said that was like the highlight. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know. Okay. So because of the business is good. You're able to travel more.
Mhm.
Do you feel like you found that joy that you were looking for?
I do. I think I needed two things. I needed to feel free. Like I could step away from the business because the business lives in my garage. The cars are at my house. You know, it felt like it was all around me. And when I couldn't take trips and I couldn't walk away, I felt a little bit suffocated. So I had to lean into that and understand where my boundaries were. And then I also felt like mentally I wasn't quite stimulated. It wasn't giving me opportunities to be in rooms with people that I admired or I could learn from. And so I needed something else. And so I kind of pivoted and did two things in 2025 that really made me very happy. And one was working for you and getting to be a small part in this massive, successful, aggressive business and just watch you hit these milestones and then watch these aggressive goals become they're behind us now. What's the next thing? And just take things off your plate that were not worth your time. So that made me really feel fulfilled. Thank you.
I just love you for that.
Oh,
Thank you.
It's been great. I absolutely love just getting to be a small part in your legacy. And then the second thing was getting into sales.
Yeah.
I wanted to help people and talk to people. And in catering, you don't really get to do that. You show up, it's someone's best day of their life. It's their wedding. You're behind the scenes. You do all the thing and you leave. You may not even have said hello to them. So sales gives me the opportunity to get in front of people and root cause their businesses and where they need help and then help them find a solution. And these people have incredible businesses and incredible stories. So those two things coupled with being able to travel and having some boundaries, 2025 was amazing. I think maybe the best year of my life.
I love hearing this. Yeah. So what are you looking forward for this year as far as making it even better? Or are you trying to just maintain?
Yeah. So this year, I think, is going to be a lot similar. But my husband and I have some family goals. So maybe figuring out how to carve out some space to then add to those things that I mentioned that bring me so much happiness. Yes. Maybe add a family component, God willing, or just figuring out what that looks like, even if it's just spending more time with family. Because honestly, we haven't been able to. His family's in Chicago, my family's in California. And so with the business and all the chaos of the last 10 years, we have not been able to really invest in family the way that we want to.
Yeah. Well, Alice and Ollie would probably love a little bundle of joy.
Yeah, they would. They would.
That is so and those are her dogs, just in case if anyone's wondering.
Yes.
But yes, because we're dog lovers.
Yes.
And kitty lovers too.
Yes, we are. Yes. Love all the animals.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I always say if I win the lottery, there's going to be signs. I'm going to have a huge ranch filled with animals.
Yes.
All the old sweet babies. Giving them a great place to live.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Please let me work for you on the ranch.
With all the horses and goats and just everything. Aww. It's going to be great.
Yes.
In my mind, it's going to be great.
Maybe that's your big pivot.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, dentistry, we're done.
Pets need dentistry too. Yeah. I would get Atlas some veneers if she really wanted some. We could have designer smiles together.
Designer smiles for the doggies and grills. We can just do it all. It's fine.
Ollie could rock a grill.
Yes, sweet.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Get me a quote for that. We should talk.
A whole different market. You never know. It's a niche. It's a niche.
Yeah, but that's. See, some people have success in a niche. Look at my niche. So yeah.
I love hearing your story. Thank you so much for talking to us about all these. I have to give you your flowers as far as all of the accomplishments, adversities that you've gone through throughout your whole life. And still, you are just such a bright, loving soul.
Thank you.
We all love you and madly respect you.
Aww.
And if there is anyone out there watching this and maybe they're lacking that joy, that spark that they're looking for, what advice or recommendation would you give them?
Yeah, start moving towards it, even if it feels insurmountable, even if it's so different than what you do now. Write it out and make a plan and see if you can just even start taking steps towards it. For me, it was just going to the cocktail bars and watching the mixologists. And I did that for months. Go and do that. And if it's sparking you joy, then take that next step, because life is so short and you can really reinvent yourself in like 2 years. Like, think of how much you have done in 2 years. If you put that effort towards something, you could be in a completely different situation. But don't stay miserable. Don't stay miserable.
That's fair. Some focus. It's crazy what focus can do with a short amount of time.
Yes.
Thank you, Nicole, again for sharing your beautiful story. Thank you for taking the time to come hang out with me, because I know you're a woman of very many duties. And so thank you again for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, love.
Yay.
Well, everyone out there, don't forget to smile, and don't forget that you can help inspire other people around you too. So share your stories and just smile, be happy. Thank you.